say right now we just took his ears or his posts out.
Yep.
So right now this is what we have. So what you're going to want to do, once you take the posts out, you're going to want to get Neosporin, that is the plus pain, plus itch scar ointment. It seems to work the best as far as just overall greasiness of it, and it helps keep from scarring. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to apply like about a fingertip amount.
Okay.
And then what you'll do is in the ear, this is where the incision starts, right here, and they work all the way up. See how he's got a little bit left to heal?
Yep.
Right there, and I'll show you how we're going to cover that. It's pretty easy. But what you do is you oil from the top all the way up, just a thin line, and then massage it in like this. Okay. And then what you'll feel, if you feel along here, like feel right there, you'll feel a little bump. Tell me when you feel that little bump. There. You feel that little bump? Yep, so what we do is when we're rubbing the ears, we just kind of move that little bump like that. Just kind of massage a little bump a little bit, and we're going to do that for the first couple weeks. Make sure we're rubbing that bump every time we take so you're going to have a few times where you do this.
Got it.
But once you get both ears oiled up, then I just kind of hold him and I go like this. And he actually really likes this. I just kind of take his ears, I start at the bottom, move my fingers and thumbs, and just kind of pull up a little bit. Not really hard.
No,
but just
gently.
Yeah,
just so he knows you're playing.
Well, and then he gets used to that.
He gets used to that. Okay.
And I'll stick my fingers in his ears just to see how he pretends and wants to react. Okay. So there we go. Now that's what we do after we take that out. So then after you oil them, right? Because you've taken the posts off and you've oiled them, you're going to want to leave them alone for about 8 hours.
Oh.
Let that oil sit. And then after 8 hours, after 8 hours, then it's time to repost again. So then I would just get like a paper towel, get it damp, wipe the grease off, because we want to get as much grease off of this portion of the ear and this portion of the ear as we can.
Okay.
So it's back to skin. He's just had a bath, so I know he's clean.
Yep.
So now, after we've wiped that grease off, because it's set.
What are you using to wipe it off with?
Just a paper towel and water.
Yeah, water.
Okay.
You know, and then let it dry. You know, let it get dry again. Then now
warm water, cool water, does it matter?
Warm water is nice. It'll come off better.
Does it cut through it?
Yeah, it'll come off better. But you'll play. A cold water he's not going to like.
Yep.
So.
Okay.
So now we've got the ears dry. We're where we're at now. So this is how we go about posting. So when they're young, for the first month, I like to squeeze the 5/8 backer rod, so it's a little tip, kind of, right? Kind of see it?
I see it. Yep.
And then
You've chamfered it.
Yep, so what I do now is I measure. So right here, you see where the ear
the bottom
comes?
Sure.
So I'll push this right here, and I'll walk it up the ear. So that's the top of my post.
Okay. Past the point.
Just past, because we can cut those off when we're done. But don't cut the tip of the ear.
Yeah.
So then
I just cut those once. We don't need to cut them again.
This is how I used to use a scissors, but I actually like going like that.
Okay.
Because it makes a little nub.
Yep.
So now we've got 2 ears. So we'll make
you assume that they're both the same length?
They will be.
Okay.
So we make 2 posts. So once we've got our 2 backer rods, that portion's done. So now we got to prep. And what we do is we take our tape. And we roll our tape out like so. And we just take our rod, set it down on the center of the tape, roll it so it sticks, and then fold it, and then roll it so it sticks. And then I'll even roll it up one more time, just because I want a nice sturdy rod. The tape helps make the rod a little sturdier. So now from here, you fold it over the edge, and then once it's like this, you let the tape fall like that.
Got it. Now
so
the
now,
sticky side is out.
Yep, now it's back taping.
Yep.
So I'm going to make one nice tight back tape there. And then once I do that, now I just want to cover the post. I like to make my posts as clean as I can as far as rolling them. And with practice, you will get very good at this.
Well, we're electricians. We should know how to work with tape.
It'll help.
By the end of this, you'll be posting dog's ears that aren't cropped. You'll just, the neighbors.
One of the
dogs,
sides,
whoever.
the side you're going to put in the ear, again, for the first week, make nice and tight. Because we don't want it to be too big until he starts to grow. Once he starts to grow and that ear canal gets a little bigger, don't worry about tightening up that tip that you're going to stick down there. So there's our first post. A lot of times I'll stick them up on something, but anyways, so that works. There we go. So now we got to do another one quick.
And you want to try to do all of this before you start with the dog, because if you have to do one and then stop, there's
You want everything prepped. So
they're
you're
gonna
going
go,
to do
"Nope,
it
I'm
just
on
like
to you."
you're going to do exactly what I'm doing right now,
Shorten the amount of exposure time.
yeah.
just in the same process.
Or so your wife could have this all done when you get home from work.
Mm-hmm. Never happens. Okay, so there I go. I folded it, and then I'll go this way. Back tape it. You're an electrician? I didn't catch that.
I'm a lineman. We
Oh.
work with tape all day.
You know how to tape stuff then. You're dealing with 1460
I'm dealing with 13.8,
or
78,
13. Yeah. You're dealing with big stuff.
Yeah.
480 is the biggest I have
That's,
to play with.
and that scares me more than the big stuff.
Yeah. Well, you can get hung up.
480 will tear you apart.
And then the tip that I put in the ear, I like it like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now we've got to this point, right?
Yep.
So now we get our strips ready. Okay. So there's a strip. And there's a strip. Pretty long.
Okay.
Don't worry about the length. I think you might want a couple short ones. Now once your strips are ready, we get the tips ready by just taking a cotton ball and use about that much cotton, just a very small amount. Doesn't take a lot because we're not trying to jam cotton down in his ears.
Mm-hmm.
We're just trying to make sure that this is kind of softer, so that way as he hits things and rubs on things, it's not going to irritate the inside of the ear. Now, your pup you're bringing home, he's got that little scab you seen on that one side of that ear, and he might have another one on the other. So we're going to pay attention to that as we post him.
Mm-hmm.
And what we're going to do is we're just going to take a small piece of cotton and put that piece of cotton on that little scab like a Band-Aid, so that way the adhesive tape doesn't stick to that.
Sure.
Now, as he moves around, tape's probably going to stick to it. It's going to happen. It's going to heal. It's not going to not heal. So.
Yeah.
But we're trying to do something to try to help him. I lost that. Oh, I see.
Increases comfort level.
So, here we go. Now we're going to post. So now I've got all my stuff. I got my posts, I got my tape, and I got my little cotton backers that you're only going to need maybe for the first couple postings.
Okay.
Because he's healing fast.
Yeah.
So here we go. Now we're going to do this here first. And what I do is I'm trying to get that post down in there. So don't try to just jam it in. Take your finger and you can grab his ear. See how I open it up?
Yep.
Hi.
Yep.
All right. And then we stick it right down into the bottom.
Oh,
Okay. And then from there, we're pushing down on the post and I'm pulling up on that ear.
got it.
Then I'm going to hold that tip right there.
Okay.
Now I'm going to take my long tape and always, I know, buddy, this sucks. Always starting from the back of his head, you put the piece just like this, like it's going to hang down.
Got it.
Then you come down on the bottom of the ear. You might need someone to hold right here, but you come down on the bottom of the ear, and then as you come up to the top, you see this skin fold up here?
Yep.
I'm going to grab it with that tape. I'm going to fold it. See how I folded it?
Got it. Got it. Yep.
You seen that?
Yep.
This is real important, this skin flap. We want to train that flap.
Okay.
Now, not really hard,
Okay.
but we want to train that flap to stay there because that's going to help keep his ear.
Yep. It's like bending the steel.
It's going to help keep his ear standing as he grows and as that cartilage starts to heal and bind. Now, I see at the top, I'm not worried about the fold. I'm letting the tape just do its own thing. I'm not going real tight.
Yep.
I'm just flipping it around his ear.
Okay.
And then after I get it around, I go like that. Now, remember I took the short piece?
Yeah.
He's like, what is
Now again, same thing. We always start from the back, and I don't like to go like right to the ear.
Okay.
So I'll go on the post,
Okay.
and then I'll come, I know, buddy. I'll hurry.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'll come right around. No, I'm hurrying. I know.
Yeah, you're okay. It's okay.
And there you go. See how I went right over it?
There you go.
So now,
There you go.
see how that post is long?
Yeah.
So now this is what I do. I get to the top.
Oh,
You see the ear?
Yeah.
There's the ear. So I put my thumb right over the ear. And I cut
Every time.
that off.
Can't watch.
So
Okay,
that way,
so-
see the tip of his ear is still in there. We're just cutting that down so it's not hanging up.
Okay, so if it was a little long,
You just cut that off.
is that
Yeah,
gonna
you
matter?
can-
I always make my post longer than a little
Okay.
longer than the ear, and then I do
Okay.
that at the end.
Okay. And we can
But,
see it. I mean, yeah,
I mean,
I can see
if
where his
you-
ear is.
If
Yeah,
you
you'll
were
feel
to
it.
leave it,
Yeah.
it's not gonna.
Yeah, you could leave it.
mean-
It's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
But other than it'll hit stuff, I shorten them now. I try to give them as much room as I can.
Yep. Okay.
So now
Okay.
we'll do the other. Now we'll do the other ear. Oh, you know what we didn't do? I didn't throw the.
The cross
Yeah, you
member.
didn't put
That's
the-
fine. No, we'll get that last.
Okay.
He'll be fine. He's so good. All right. So the same thing. I'm going to grab this,
Yep.
open it up, stick that in, pull up, and I'm going to hold it
Yep.
just like that.
I'm gonna hold him.
There's a little trick too. If somebody
Yeah,
wants to do this,
Yep. Tap him on the
Just tap 'em.
nose.
it kind of gives them something else to think about while you're doing
Something to
this.
focus on. Oops.
Gotcha. You see how loose it is? It's not even tight, right?
Nope. Nope.
It'll tighten up when I'm done. Ooh, you little turkey.
Oh my goodness, the drama. Do you want us to do your ears, Karma? She actually never really minded. So.
Okay.
Oh.
No. Sometimes it helps
Okay.
too if you don't have your kindergarten
Now-
scissors. Like,
After we
Yeah.
get to this point, if right here where the tape starts and the ear is, see how that's
Yep.
got that big gap? I don't like that.
Okay.
I like to go with a piece of tape. If I have to, I'll go back even further and I'll come down even lower
Cover.
so that way I can close that little gap, right? Because if I close that little gap, especially when they're young like this,
Mm-hmm.
that will keep him from shaking them out.
Okay.
He's going to shake his head. See now I've closed that gap. Now it's very small. You can maybe put your fingertip in it.
Yep. Okay.
We want to keep this part from being able to pop out of there
Exactly.
for the
We have
first
to
few
see
weeks.
that. I'm
By
gonna spin
then-
him, and you can do the other side too.
By then he's going to start to get used to that post being in his ear, and he's not even going to. He should, you know, if you stay on it,
Yep.
he'll get used to this.
We will.
yeah.
We've got another trick yet, so don't worry. We're not going to leave you empty-handed. So I'm going to go right over that. Nice thing is too, you want to make that tape stick to that sticky post. That's more or less why that post is sticky. It's not to stick to his ear. It's more or less to stick to the tape that you're adhering around his ear.
Yep.
So now you see again, about a fingertip.
Okay.
Okay?
Got it.
So now we get to this point. Now you get to bridge. Now when you're bridging, you take a piece about yay long, right? I know it looks super big for that little dog, but that's about what you need. And when you bridge, we don't want to bridge like this.
Okay.
We don't want them to bridge like that. We want them like this.
Okay.
Kind of,
Halfway. Yep. Just a little bit off.
yeah, not straight up,
Not
but
straight up. No,
back a little
not
bit.
Totally vertical.
So on the way to do these, now you don't have to go low. You can start kind of right at where the, like if when we go up, so that way the tape's right across the top of the head.
Mm-hmm.
Oops. And always, again, back of the head. See, I screw up too.
Yep.
You always go from the
Since
back
we've
to the
been-
front. So you come around and then halfway, stop,
Alright.
bring it over, get to the halfway point and touch it where you want it, which should be about there. And you come back around and you touch the two together. I like to try to square them up so we got a nice
Yeah.
little sign there at the top. Now you know it's fancy. You were watching your sister get this and you looked at her and went, I don't want one of those. Okay, now the only thing we gotta worry about is that tape opening up. How do we stop that?
Yep.
Take a little
The other
bit,
way.
slip it underneath, and just go like so. a lot easier when they got bigger heads.
Won't be long.
No.
No, it goes fast.
And I've got skinny fingers, so that'll help.
You know, and again, it doesn't have to be.
This doesn't have to be pretty.
It's not a fashion show.
No.
it is not.
It's just to work.
Later on it
Yeah, but see down there. See how when you look at it, they're not like
Yeah.
this.
No.
They're like that.
Because you want him to still be able to move his ears up.
Mhm.
Okay.
You know, 'cause
When you
that's
stimulate him,
training
you'll
that
see him go.
muscle.
Oop.
Okay.
When he
Yeah,
gets stimulated, he'll point him straight up.
Yeah.
Sure.
So you
But
want him to
there you
still
go.
be able to.
There you
to
go.
move
You
his
got your
movement.
posties.
There you go.
Now, last trick for posting. Say you're done posting. Go ahead and set him down and see what he does.
All right. Go get him, buddy. There you go.
There we go.
Good.
He's
boy.
doing very good. Say he starts irritating with those ears, starts messing with
Rubbing on
them.
something. That's what I'm thinking.
He loves milk bones.
Okay.
So